Hello, I'm Jonathan Howell. This talk is compare and contrast the changes to IT business analysis when utilizing Agile against more traditional project methodologies. As an overview, I'm going to be talking about two main varieties of IT project management, traditional and Agile, and talking about how business analysis and the business analyst fit into these two different approaches. I won't be going into detail about each life cycle, but rather just give a high-level description and how the business analyst would be involved in each. So here we're looking at a typical linear approach, which is the waterfall life cycle. This is the original approach which has been taken. Development proceeds through a series of sequential stages. Each stage is reviewed and signed off before the next starts. So for example, analysis can only start once feasibility has been completed. However, there are forward and backward arrows. So the backwards indicates that at each stage you need to check that scope hasn't expanded and that the current stage has been built logically from its predecessor. So where is business analysis involved in a waterfall project? As you can see from the diagram with the red circles, typically the business analyst is primarily involved in the beginning and end phases. This is the feasibility study and analysis at the beginning, user acceptance testing, helping users and stakeholders during implementation at the end. Naturally, there will be times during design and development phases where the BA will need to be able to answer questions from the dev team also. Another example of the linear approach would be the extended V model. This makes the testing of each stage much more explicit, and the business analyst can be seen to be involved at a much higher strategic level. They would be developing business case to ensure that the project is justified on business terms, and also confirming that predicted business benefits are reviewed against the actual delivered benefits. In some ways, this is a more kind of satisfying arrangement to ensure that you actually get what you wanted. The Agile life cycle can be seen to be quite different to the previous methods described. Key themes are iteration, in that detailed requirements are developed over each iteration. That's seen in the gray box. Collaboration, so all stakeholders, dev team members, collectively make decisions. Fitness with purpose, so it's more important to align to business need than some requirements list. Continual testing, especially automated, to ensure elimination of bugs as early as possible. And incremental delivery, so showcases to stakeholders of current build to ensure suitability, would happen at every iteration. The individual steps, once the need has been identified, is to identify options, costs, benefits, impacts, risks, and everyone agrees on the preferred option. Define the requirements. So that in this case, this is at high level requirements only, scope and features with priorities. And then elaborate solution requirements within the iteration. So, and some of the methods used for this would be storyboards and prototyping. you would then deploy a solution for the current, if you're using current sprints, to a live operational environment with training. And once that was complete, you would iterate until you considered that you had come to the final product. At that point, you can evaluate the solution, do a benefits review to ensure the expected solution has been realized. The biggest impact of iterations on business analysts is the lack of an analysis phase. Instead of performing all analysis work to develop detailed requirements at the beginning of the project, business analysis occurs throughout the project with an initial high-level picture of the overall scope, followed by more detail on specific features when they are delivered. The key is knowing the sufficient amount of business analysis necessary to understand the problem and the aspect of the solution currently being delivered. So, what is the role of business analysis in Agile projects? You can see it's very different to previous approaches, and particularly the collaboration between the team means that the business analyst is much more deeply embedded. If they're supporting sprints and backlog maintenance, this now means they're involved in all project stages. Agile's focus on delivering value to stakeholders and users requires the whole team to collaboratively perform business analysis on a frequent basis. A big change that Agile introduces is that it does not prescribe any documentation, including requirements lists. That does not mean that documentation is not produced, rather that the business analyst collaborates with other team members to decide what is needed to best deliver the solution, including how much documentation is necessary. Similarly, business analysts collaborate with other team members to determine how much analysis is needed at the beginning of the project to establish the big picture, and during each iteration in order to establish a shared understanding without creating an extensive requirements inventory. Another change in Agile is the existence of the product owner role. The product owner is the ultimate decision maker and ultimate representative of business needs for the project. In order to be truly effective, the person filling the product owner role should be well versed in many core business analysis techniques, but they rarely are. This provides the business analyst an excellent opportunity to assist the product owner. Finally, because the business analyst is not so focused on trying to document all requirements, rules, etc. for a separate development team, they can focus more time on actual analysis. Did we consider all the scenarios that might occur? Are we keeping our solution consistent? Do we know what unintended consequences we may be creating with this change? In general, the role of the business analyst is to identify how business constraints affect the delivery of requirements and to seek delivery options that ensure that business needs are met. And this doesn't change within Agile projects. Agile approaches do not prescribe many roles, primarily because the focus on collaboration makes the establishment of many roles unnecessary. This lack of defined roles offers business analysts an excellent opportunity to expand their horizons, both from a business perspective as well as a technical. Business analysts work closely with their product owner to position the product to best deliver value to stakeholders, in the process building their domain knowledge and experience solving business problems. Business analysts also work closely with their teammates to improve everyone's analysis skills as well as acquire new skills, including testing. These opportunities position the business analyst to look beyond a specific role and work with their teammates to deliver value for their customers and improve their worth in their organization.